Hello guys, this is JJ. Hope you're well. Today I have something different to show you guys. As you can see, I've got a Gundam in front of you. So this Gundam, I actually purchased it about 2 years ago, maybe a bit more, and I've just been keeping it in my storage cabinet together with other model kits. I do actually really like Gundam. I used to build them a lot when I was in uni, and then slowly, because I started working, I don't have as much time, so I kind of stopped buying Gundam kit, and then eventually I just started playing with other toys like the remote control crawlers, and then I collect 1:18 scaled model cars, and then only recently, when I have a bit of spare time, I thought maybe I should get back into this hobby of building model kit from plastic kit, and that's why, of late you've been seeing some review of the Tamiya motorbike kit, and then today, I'm showing you guys a Gundam. So this is one of them. I also have another 2 or 3, I can't remember. One of them I clearly remember is a 1:60 scale, which is quite a lot larger, and it is a Wing 007 sword. The kit itself is pretty good. When you build it, it's quite a nice looking Gundam, but some people say, this has got too much armor and weapons on the Gundam, and it is quite hard to have the model fully built, and to post it on a stand is quite difficult. Those are what other people say. I haven't tried it myself. The kit is still brand new, but hopefully in the upcoming days I will take out the bigger Gundam kit, and I'll give you a quick unboxing video as well. But that box is possibly 4 times bigger than this one, so I might need to go into a different room to do the recording. But anyway, today I want to show you guys a Master-Grade Gundam. So this one is a Gundam Barbatos, and it is from the Iron Blood Orphans series. I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the Gundam cartoon or animate, so I'm sure if you do follow them, you will know exactly where this Gundam Barbatos come from. It is from the Iron Blood Orphans series. So this one is the Master Grade, so it has pretty good details. It's not as good as the Perfect Grade. Also this size is 1:100 scale, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's 1:100 scale. So it is not too big, but it's still possibly about 23-ish centimeters tall when it is fully assembled. So just to show you guys the packaging, so you get this really nice drawing of the Gundam Barbatos. You can see it's made by Bandai Namco. This is a Master Grade. This is from the Iron Blood Orphans series. And then, so I think the cartoon came out around 2019, but the model kit was not released until 2020. The kit is made in Japan, similar to Tamiya. What else is here? The actual product made vary slightly from the image of the package. The images are for illustrative purposes only. Okay, but I'm sure it will still look pretty much the same. So on the right hand side of the box, you can see the full name of the Gundam Barbatos. It's ASW-G-08, and there you go. It is a 1:100 scale, and it's a Master Grade. And on the other side, it is exactly the same. You could go into the www.gundam.info website if you want to find out more information about this model kit. And then on this side, what do we have? Let's go from left to right. So it shows you the weapon, the articulation of all the joints, so it's quite flexible. So he carried the mace, sword, and a 300mm smoothbore gun. The armor on the back of the knees can also be slid down to allow better articulation, which is really cool. I don't think any of my previous Gundam have that function, so it's good to have that. Again, image showed the product is on the Action Base 4, which is sold separately, so which is this kind of space. If you want to, if you don't want to stand your Gundam on the surface, you can always prop them up. So you need to buy them separately. They're not that expensive. I've seen them online before. And then the backpack, the thrust master, can be articulate. It's pretty cool. You can unfold to maintain the smoothbore gun firing pose. So it's like that. So that the back is actually attached to the thrusters. Pretty cool. Thrusters on the backpack and legs are articulated. Right. And then unpainted completed model. So this is similar to what I have done to the Tamiya 1199 Panigale S. So if you are too lazy, or if you don't have the equipment and the paint to fully color the Gundam just by the model kit inside, you will at least get to this kind of details. So you can see the kit already comes with quite a lot of different colors already, and it does look pretty good. So if you are too lazy, you can't be bothered to do any airbrush or paintbrushing, then just cut out the plastic parts, snap them together, and then you'll probably have something like that, which is really cool. And I can see this one, they haven't even applied any water transfer decals. It looks pretty good, to be honest. And this kit doesn't require any glue, so everything just clicked together. It's slightly different to Tamiya. Tamiya is heavily relying on the cement. And then this product is a plastic model assembly kit. Nippers, etc. required for assembly are not included, so you need to get your own nippers. More details about the Bandai company. So let's take a look at the other side. So you have the front view of the Gundam Barbatos, the rear view, and then a different post with the maze. And then this is the front view of the skeleton body. So the older Gundam kit, you used to just put the body together. You know, the armor comes as part of the body structures, whereas the newer model, a lot of them, you know, you can only build the skeleton frame before putting on the outside armor, which is really cool. So this one specifically, I think the skeleton looks really, really good. And this is just straight out from the box without any coloring. I've seen on YouTube videos, some other people have fully airbrushed the skeleton to like a titanium or brushed silver color, and they look really good. And if it's possible and you could afford it, I would definitely recommend you to buy this kit twice. So the first kit only built and colored the skeleton body, and then the second one you build it with the full armor, and then just have them side by side. Will look really, really good. Moving on, there's more photos of the Gundam frame. So you can see the head, the arm, the legs, they're all very, very detailed. The AHAB reactors can be articulated as well, so they do spin, which are these ones. And then you have all these pistons that moved as you position the arms and legs. So that's really cool, which is one of the reasons why I have purchased the model a couple of years ago. And then you have the rear view of the skeleton body. Again, it is very detailed. And then, as I mentioned, the Gundam Barbatos is 1:100 scale. It also provides you the Migasuki, so you get two of the figure, one in a sitting position, which you would leave inside the cockpit, and then there is one for external display purposes. You can see him standing up, holding up the fist, and marking stickers unique to the plastic model kit are included. So you can see those stickers, they are inside the kit as well. And that's just some extra information about the Gundam and the Gundam Barbatos. And let me show you the bottom side. There's actually another label at the back that is written in Chinese, even though the kit is made in Japan. But I think this kit, it was imported from Japan, and then it is through a reseller in China somewhere. So you have some information about the reseller, you have got some information about Bandai company, and then some warning. This kit is basically for 15 years and above, because the kit contains a lot of small parts, and there's also some parts with sharp edges as well. So that's the outside of the packaging of the Gundam Barbatos. So now let's take a look at the inside. Right, straight away you can see there are a lot of parts. But before that, let me close this box again. I think some of you guys is probably wonder how big this kit is, and then you can kind of gauge how big the 1:60 scale Wing 00's, sorry, not Wing 00, the Gundam 007 sword. In 1:16 scale, the box will be huge. So the width of this box is about 39 centimeter in width, and then the height is about 31 centimeter, and then the depth of the box is about 8.5 centimeters. So it is a fair size box, to be honest. It's definitely slightly bigger than a normal 1:100 scale Gundam, but maybe because this one has got a lot more parts inside, so they have to provide a bigger box in order to hold all the parts in place. So let's get the box open again. Second time lucky. Right, straight away you can see the kit comes with a lot of different colors. So let's just start with this one. Master-Grade 1:100 scale. And then I can't read Japanese, I presume that is probably saying specific for Gundam Barbatos. So this kind of silver plated kit or sprues has all the struts for the pistons, so they're all different sizes, different length as well. It's pretty nice quality. Bandai Spirits, made in Japan. Very good quality. Next we have the white and blue. The blue ones, I think they are the armor for the front chest as well as the elbow. And then on the flip side you have the, well, first of all you can see they provided you the shiny metallic green stickers for the eyes, and I think that is for the gun. Pretty cool. And on the white sprues you have the legs armor. I think they form part of the side skirt, the shoulder pad, the foot area, and I don't know, there are a lot of caps which I can't figure out what they are for at this moment because I haven't even read the instruction manual. I just bought it at the time because I think it was a really good model kit, and I think at the time when it was first released, a lot of YouTuber, they gave this Gundam a lot of positive comment, and quite a few of them have actually said this should be Bandai's Model of the Year 2020. So that means something, right? And that's the part of the reason why I've decided to spend the money to buy this kit. At the time, I think this kit was about 30 something pound. Now it has gone up to maybe 70, 80, 90 pound, might be more, I don't know. But it's a very good kit, as you can see. The plastic molding, they're pretty much Bandai standard, if not better than before. Comparing to Tamiya, I'm not 100% sure whether they are the same or slightly, well, not as good quality. I mean, I'm just looking at one kit, so I can't make the judgment, to be honest, but it looks pretty good. It looks almost like the Tamiya kit, to be honest. The molding are very clear, and you can see all the panel lines, they're all there. Moving on, you have these almost like an Italian flag. You have red, green, white, and then you have yellow as well. So you have got the antenna for the head unit, and then you have this one which is for the shoulder pad area. You have got the, I can't really tell what that is at the moment, sorry about that. And you have the louvers, I think that's for the chest area. And then you have the backpack and the foot parts, it's all there. And then there's more armored everywhere. And then you have the green, which I assume is for the eyes, and then the mouth guard as well. And here you can see the sticker. I'm just trying to work out whether that is water transfer or not. I think they're just sticker. I can see the cuts out. So I'm not 100% sure. I think it is sticker, as the label suggests. So I don't think they are water transfer, but they are pretty good quality. they're printed very, very nicely. So I will see if I will be using any of these stickers. I might not, because some of the people that have assembled the Gundam Barbatos, they said the Gundam itself looks nicer without any stickers, or at least not all of them anyway. So I'll make the decision when I start assembling the kit. Then you have the see-through pink or translucent pink bits, so that is pretty much for the shoulder armor pad, where you have the pink outlines, and then for the kneecap as well, and then the gold sprues. I think these are for the skeleton parts, and that's for the chest as well on the skeleton. Pretty nice color. And then on the underside you can see there's some weapons. So you have the main sword, which is really nice, and then you have part of the mace and the handle, not the handle, yeah, the handle of the mace, and then I think these are part of the gun. Looks pretty cool, very detailed. And then you have, this is kind of matte color sprues, so you can see the fingers, they're actually different position. I think that's the fingers you use for holding the fist, and that is for holding weapons. You can see the fingers are slightly opened, and then these are just normal open hands, and I really like them. They look really, really good. And then the rest of them, judging from the color, I would say they are the skeleton body. Yep, that's the back reactor cover. It's pretty cool. Let's go for this one. Again, another matte color sprues, and there's part of the foot. There's some pipings there. There's a lot more parts for the skeleton. And I think these two, they are the same sprues, just twice. Maybe one for the left hand side, one for the right hand side. And then there's more skeleton parts. So you can see the legs, the reactor, and loads of parts for the skeleton body. Same as the other side. There's loads and loads of parts. I think these one again, they are identical, just left and right legs. And then you have more parts for the maze, and then the brown ones, they are the gun, the main gun body. And on the white, I think we've seen that part earlier, so that would be the one of the legs armor. It's pretty cool. It's very detailed, and I like the fact that they have made the panel lines quite visible, so they are quite easy to do. Or, as the box suggests, if you just want to cut them out, click them together and leave it, then the Gundam also look pretty good without any coloring or stickers. So some of you guys might decide to go for that option. And then the last part, I think these are the, what are they? It might be the thrusters on the side by the hips. I think that's what they are called. There's two of them, and I think they are identical. So one for the left hand side, one for the right hand side. And then last but not least, you have your Gundam Barbatos installation manual. So you have got the full picture, just like the main box cover. Master grade from the Iron Blood Orphans series. Made in Japan. The cartoon was out 2019, the model was out 2020. Very cool. And then on the back cover, there's another photo of the Gundam Barbatos. And I think this one is a blow-up picture of the model kit without any coloring. So if you don't want to do any airbrushing or apply any stickers, so just by cutting out the parts, put them together, and maybe spend a little bit effort to do the panel lines, this is what you're going to get. So the result would be pretty good, because you do have quite a lot of colors. You've got red, yellow, pink, the main white body color, gray color. I think there's different shade of gray as well. And then you also have blue. It's pretty cool. But I am going to airbrush the whole thing, and I will spray a layer of matte finish, because I don't want any of this armor to be shiny. So if you're going to put the top layer, make sure you don't put the gloss finish, you put the matte one, and it will look like that. And there is also a trick. If you don't want to spray the matte finishing, you can also use a really fine file. Probably you'll be looking at the file with the number 1500 onwards, and basically just to gently rub all over the body, and then you will get a similar effect, the matte finish. But obviously, you know, if you are going to airbrush the Gundam, then it makes sense to airbrush the matte finishing as well. So it looks pretty good, right? So let's put the kit back inside to the box. I'm only joking. Of course I will show you inside the installation manual, so I'll just show it to you very quickly. So the first page basically gives you some background information about the Iron Blood Orphans storyline, maybe a bit information about the Gundam Barbatos as well, and then some basic instruction, you know, how to follow step by step, you know, where are the areas that you need to cut out the excessive plastic. And then the instruction is just break down into step 1 all the way to step 10, and you'll probably notice you can't see step 5 or step 9 because step 5 is the assemble of the top half unit, and step 9 is the assembly of the lower half body, and then you just put the two together. So that's why you don't see it here. What else? These are some recommendations. When you cut the parts out from the sprue, you always leave like at least 1 millimeter gap to the actual parts. So once it's cut out, then you use potentially a different set or a sharper set of cutter to cut out the excessive parts. And here you have basically those logos stand for different things. For example, if you see this, it means don't cut out the parts. And then you see this, you have to cut certain parts. And that's to move the opposite side. That's optional, so you could choose various parts to put on, i.e. the fingers on the hand attached to the opposite side. So that would be the left and right arm, and then left and right legs. What else? Applying sticker. Build specified number of parts. So if you need the same assembly twice, then you will see that instruction times 2. And then you see some grayed out area which doesn't apply to this kit. So do not over tighten screws. So this kit doesn't have any screws, so it's grayed out. Apply glue. This doesn't require glue, so it's grayed out as well. Both sides use identical parts. It's not applicable. And then you have the checklist of all the sprues you should have inside the box. I have already checked mine and everything is there. And then you have the instruction. So from session 1, which is to build the chest unit, which refer to this. Session 1 is the chest. Session 2 would be the head unit. 3 and 4 would be the arms, etc. So it's split into all of this different session, and each session it tells you which sprues you will require. So it's quite easy to identify where to find the parts. And then you have the very, very clear instruction. And then here, session 2 is to build the head, and then you will need those parts. And then 3 and 4 for your arm units. So you will need all of those in order to assemble the arms. And then you guys get the idea. Session 4. And then session 5 is here. You just install the head and the 2 arms to the main body. And then session 6 and 7 are for the legs. Now in the middle of the booklet you will see there are more information. I think these are specific to the Gundam Barbatos, so feel free to read that. And then there are some coloring recommendation if you want to follow, and then more coloring for paint brushing Mikasuki. And then here is basically show you the difference between when you build the model kit without any coloring, it will look like that, and if you just add the panel lining, it will look like that. It basically brings out the details of the head unit, which is really cool. So that also doesn't require any coloring. This is just by using the panel liner. So it's pretty easy to do. And there's more information about the skeleton of the Barbatos. Show you the different weapons and how to pose the Gundam Barbatos when holding certain weapons. And then you have Mikasuki. So that kind of show you how you should paint the tiny little figure if you can be bothered. And then the weapon again, a nice little brick from your installation of the Gundam, and then carry on session 6 for the legs, 7 the other legs, and then 8 is the waist unit, and then you'll require those parts from these sprues. And then you come to session 9 is the full assembly of the lower half, and then you put the two halves together to form your Gundam. And then step 10 is the backpack. Step 11, 12 and 13 are the assembly of the weapons. How to build the gun, quite a lot of parts, and then how to build the maze. So here you can see the maze, this part J1, it can come out once it's finished assembly. So you can extend the spikes in the middle, and then you can also pull out the parts J1 and J2 as a weapon as well. It's like a close range weapon. It's just a knife. And then there you go. That's to show you how to extend the middle spikes on the maze, and it looks like you can extend the handlebar as well. And then that's to show you how to clip the maze on the backpack. And then here it shows you how to open the cockpit hatch to show the cockpit, as well as Mikazuki. So you will have this figure in the cockpit in the sitting position. So once you open those two panels, you'll see him inside. And then we have already touched base on this when we were looking at the outside packaging. You can slice down that part in order to improve the articulation around the kneecap. And then here you have the marking location. So these are for all the lovely stickers, should you desire. But a lot of people recommend not to use all of them because the whole Gundam would look too busy. And then the finished product again. So now I will put everything back inside the box, but I will do it off camera. I'll come back to you shortly once everything is back in. Ta-da! And it's done. So this kit is actually not too bad. It has quite a lot of parts, but the box is fairly big. So even though if I put them in the wrong order, all the sprues will still fit inside the box, and I will be able to close the box properly like that, so it's fully shut. Some of the Gundam kits where it has a lot of parts and they don't give you a large enough box, so if you take out the sprues out, make sure you put them back in the reverse order, otherwise it might not fit. So what's next after we have unboxed the Gundam Barbatos? So as this is quite a simple kit to build, you know, if you just want to achieve that finishing, you just cut out the parts from the sprues and then just add panel lines and you will get that, which is really nice already without any coloring or stickers. So in order to achieve that, what you will need is very basic. You need a pair of cutter, so make sure you get yourself a decent pair of cutter. Even this one is relatively cheap. You'll be able to find them on Amazon or eBay or any art and craft shops. Only cost you a few quid, very basic. So you'll need this to cut out the parts. and since it doesn't require glue, so you won't need any glue. The only other thing that you might need is to draw the panel line. So I would recommend you to get this Gundam marker. So these are for the panel lines, and make sure you guys get the fine tips version. And this is the black coloring, so it gives you black panel lines. So I think the kit, if you want to achieve that result, you only really need this and that. But if you want to give it a better finishing, then I would recommend you to get yourself another panel liner. So that's a gray one, that's a black one. So it depends which area you're marking. For the less obvious panel lines, you can put the gray ones, i.e. the ones at the right at the front, and then the one at the rear side or not so obvious side, you can use the black one just to make the panel lines stands out a little bit better. So consider using that, or you can use the Tamiya panel line, which is quite easy to do. So you literally just use the very fine applicator, just dab it on the lines, and then the line would just flow automatically. And to finish it off, you just need some of these. They look like Q-tip, but they're not. So these are specifically for modeling, so it doesn't leave those cotton fiber on the model. So if you don't have this, maybe use the Q-tip, but it's not recommended. These are relatively cheap from online as well, so get yourself one of these. And in order to wipe the excess panel line on the actual plastic parts, you use this, and you need to dab the cotton area with, well, I use the Zippo Fuel. A lot of modeler, they recommend using that same thing as well, and you could buy them from any hardware store. So you just need to put a small bit of Zippo Fuel on this, and then just gently rub around the panel lines area, and then it will take out all of those excess color and leave the panel lines in that color. And for whatever reason, if you have accidentally removed too much of the panel liner, you can always just add another drop of the liner into the trough and then do the same process again. It's fairly easy. What's next? So if you want to cut out the parts better and smoother, I will recommend you to use the cheaper one just to cut out the parts from the sprues. Remember, you always leave 1 millimeter at least before cutting into the actual parts, so it gives you a second chance to really cut out the excessive plastic properly and as close as possible. But the cheaper pair of cutter might not be able to give you that result, so you might want to invest in getting one of these Tamiya side cutter. So I have the Tamiya 123, and there's also a 35 version, and I like 123 because I could just use this one pair and do everything. The 35 probably would give you a similar or slightly closer cut to the excess, but if you're going to use a craft knife or sanding paper or sanding stick, then I would recommend you to just get the 123 and just have the one pair, and it will do the job a lot better than using the cheaper ones. So this one costs maybe a few pounds. This one I think it costs about something in between 20 something pound cheapest, otherwise 25 to 30 pound I would say, but they are very, very good cutter. And then obviously get yourself a craft knife just to cut out the excess part after you use the side cutter to give a much better finish, a closer cut. And if you really want to airbrush the whole thing, you want to make sure all the panels are super smooth, then I will recommend you to get some of these sanding stick. So you get the really rough one, rate 80, all the way to the fine one, super fine, like a finishing surface, the 7000. And I think in this box I have 10 different versions of them. So you can see that goes from the smallest, it was 80, and then you have 400, 600, 1000, 800, 5000, 2000, 3000. You guys get the idea. So it's good to have those variations for different finishing. So the last thing is the coloring. So let me grab those color and I'll come back very shortly. Right, I'm back. So if you want to airbrush the Gundam Barbatos, then there are a few colors that I could recommend you to use. So let's go from the red. So that is for not a lot of parts, to be honest. So on the Gundam kit, it's basically the foot area as well as the waist area, and the mouth is red. So a lot of people would use or would choose to use the standard red color, either flat red or gloss red, but I have been informed by the fellow Gundam builder. They said if you use a clear red on the red surface, it will give a really nice finish. So I will be using this color just to test it out. And then the normal yellow color, you can use them for quite a few areas, as you can see on this one. But I am still deciding whether to use yellow or gold, or maybe a mixture of the two. So I will have to make that decision when I start building the kit. And then obviously on the chest area, you have got the blue panels. Also behind the left and right elbow, you also have the blue pad. So you can either use the flat blue, or similar to the recommendation of using the clear red. So what you will need to do is to first airbrush the three pieces in a black color, and then you spray a silver color on top of the black, and then after that you spray a layer of clear blue instead of the flat blue. I actually realized I didn't have the clear blue, so I have ordered the clear blue earlier today, so hopefully it will arrive in a few days. Then I don't have to use this solid blue. And for the main skeleton here, this is the color I'll be using. It's called Gunmetal X10. It's a fairly shiny metallic gunmetal color, so I think it will look really good on the skeleton body. So X10. And then you have some of these joints or gold plated area. So I will be, actually there's more than that. I think those pipings, I think there's two behind the neck, and there's some on the arms, and then the legs. Those pipings I will be painting them in gold. So I'm just going to use the normal gold leaf color. So the combination of these two will look quite nice. And next, what I'm going to do is at the back, you can see there are a lot of piston, and as you can see inside the kit, they also give you the silver plated strut, but there are a lot of pistons all around the body. So the piston itself, I'm going to paint them in a copper color. So the piston will be in copper, and then the actual strut will be in the silver color that came with the kit. So the body, the skeleton body, is going to have these three colors, and I think they look quite good. Now, the finishing. As I mentioned, I don't like my Gundam to look glossy or shiny when it's done. So you can either use the really fine files, 1500 above, to gently polish all of those panels, mainly the white ones. Or if you're going to use airbrush for all the other parts anyway, so you can use this. These are Tamiya flat clear, so make sure you don't pick the gloss clear, the normal clear. You have to get the flat one, and it will stop these color from looking shiny. So make sure you get yourself some of these, or a few of these if you are planning to build quite a few Gundams. So I think that is everything that you would need in terms of adding the panel lines, giving the plastic parts better finish, wiping out the panel lines, the excessive panel lines, and the main body colors, as well as the standing stick to give the parts a better finish. I think all of this stuff are what you need. Obviously you will need the airbrush, the compressor, and then the spray booth as well, but I'm sure you guys, some of you guys have already have those equipment. So these will be the parts that I will be using for building this Gundam Barbatos. So hopefully the end result will look as I expected. I'm sure it will look quite good. I will need to plan ahead on when to start this model kit, because I have to build my Tamiya bikes before this one, or I might build in conjunction with this. I don't know, it depends how much time I have. So keep subscribing to my channels, and I'm sure you will find out what my decision is going to be. But I think, honestly speaking, my next thing, I'm just going to build one of the motorbike first before I will come to the Gundam. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you will find some of my suggestions useful. If not, then do feel free to leave a comment, whether it's positive or negative, in the comment box, and I will be able to tailor my next video for you guys. So if you like this video and you find it useful, then please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel as well. It will definitely help with my panel to grow further, and then I will be able to show you guys more model kits as well as the scale models. Until the next video, I'm going to stop here, and I'll say bye for now. Take care and have a nice day. See ya.